Hey, just Jay here, and it's day 90 of the day 90 of the Bearded Brace Face. So there's this strange thing that happens to me every once in a while. The first time I remember noticing it was about 8 months to a year ago. It was super bizarre and it didn't make any sense to me. My sneezes smelled. It seemed like such a weird thing and I didn't tell anybody about it until just this week. Basically what happens is I sneeze and there's an after smell. As far as I know, I'm the only one that can smell it. It's never a really strong odor and it doesn't seem to last for very long. The smell can range from like this weird musty soury milk smell to yesterday when it kind of had this sweet smell to it. When I told my roommate earlier this week about it, I thought it was because I drink my milk straight from the carton. Maybe like some milk got stuck in my mustache, and if I didn't wash it out soon enough, it would kind of sour, and that somehow after I sneezed, my nose was a lot more sensitive to the odor from my mustache. I know this is completely disgusting, and it didn't make sense because I always have a really clean mustache, and I also use scented mustache waxes, but it was the only possibility that I could think of. So while it was illogical, it seemed like the only logical explanation. Then when my sneeze was more of a sweet smell, that didn't make sense at all. So I decided to Google search my sneezes smell. Then in the predicted searches, the top one was my sneezes smell like honey. Immediately I was like, whoa, that is what my sneeze smelled like. Kind of this musky honey smell. This light went off going, other people have this happen to them as well. I'm not just some sort of a freak. I mean, I am super weird, but having honey sneezes isn't what makes me weird. There are other people in this world that are experiencing what I experience, and I might be able to find some answers. In digging around, I found out that there's this thing called honey sneeze. While I haven't researched it a ton, it seems like it's a little bit of a mystery, but there are a few things that it might be. The number one thing is sinus infection, which is definitely something that I have from time to time. Usually it's not major sinus infections, but every once in a while I get a minor sinus infection, and that apparently causes your sneezes to have an odor. That could be that musky, soury smell, or even that musky honey smell. Here in Utah, it's a really dry climate, so my nose gets dried out right up here in front and then will sometimes crack. And then it might cause a little bit of an infection right in the tip of my nose. It's really not fun, and then I gotta stick Neosporin up there to make sure that it heals and doesn't get infected. Probably more information than you want to know, but it's all part of this weird phenomena of my sneezes having a smell. The other option, especially for the honey sneezes, is the potential for diabetes.
Diabetes. Diabetes. I was losing my ice cream. I was losing my apple pie. I was getting up every 15 or 20 minutes all through the night.
While diabetes is a treatable thing, it is not fun. From my understanding, there's two types of diabetes. One which is juvenile diabetes that just is onset when you're a kid. And then the second one is usually because you're not really taking care of yourself as well, and it comes later on in life. I'm no expert in any of this, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, I believe my brother got juvenile diabetes in his 20s. From what I understand, that's a little bit more rare. Juvenile diabetes is referred to as juvenile diabetes because kids get it. This scenario is a little bit scarier because the honey sneezes could mean that I have diabetes. I really hope I don't have diabetes, and I don't think I do because my body feels okay right now, but it's something to keep in mind that if my body stops functioning correctly, I may need to go in and get tested for diabetes. I do think it's a lot more likely that it has to do with a sinus infection though, or something else. It is especially ironic to me that the day that I buy a ton of Cinnabon cinnamon rolls and eat a ridiculous amount of them, that I find out that I have honey sneezes that may be attributed to diabetes.
A little too ironic. And yeah, I really do think
Most people had never heard of this phenomena of sneezes smelling. Once I found this out, I had told a few people about it. So if you're out there and you have sneezes that smell weird, know that you're not alone. It's super weird. I don't fully understand it, but it happens and it's real. You're not going crazy. Anyway, that's it for today. As always, hope this wasn't horrible.
Now when the music drops, I wanna see your hands up. Hello from the other side.
99.5.